Hey there, this is Mark. Wanted to show everybody how to set up TradingView to trade value. This is about the only way to look at acceptance or rejection of value as the market sees it. So let me get in here and show you what it looks like. So I'm always watching both ES, which is over here, and NASDAQ, which is here. I'm just going to leave this up over here right now. Let's get rid of this stuff, and we'll see how it's built. How's that? So let's get this turned back on, which is those three. I'm going to kill that one. I'm going to leave the volume there because we're going to need to see it. All right, so there's no indicators here. There is just 30-minute candles, and that's pretty much how I run. I want to see where volume value is accepted, and I run value in both a TPO as well as a profile for each day, and we're going to end up looking like this on this side. So first thing to do is I am going to click on this side, and I'm going to add an indicator, and it's called Session Price Time Opportunity, Session TPO. Okay. Once I do that, it gets a little noisy. Okay. The other thing you need to remember is you're setting this as RTH, not extended. Okay. I'll show you how to change this so it looks like this. All right. So we're going to go into the session TPO to settings, and we're going to turn the letters and blocks, and I go in and I turn all these opacities down to 0 to make sure they don't come in and mess with anything. Okay. You can show POC, it's your choice. I tend to show all POCs in red. And for the TPO, I'm going to show value high and value low as an orange. And on the volume, I'm going to set it as yellow. You can also show open. I like to show initial balance. And that's pretty much setting up the TPO. Inputs don't really need to change this. In the volume profile now, so this is TPO, this is volume profile. I turn the volume outside of value off. So we set that opacity to 0. And what is the volume in here, you can turn that down if it's pestering you to something like 30%-ish. So you can kind of see it, but it's not really obnoxious. Okay. POC again, you could set it to a red, and value high and value low, I set these to yellow so I can differentiate them from my TPO. And I do show the profile. So that's it. That's just it. You can see my initial balances. You can see when we come back, we test those. We show where we fall out. We open too low, we push back up, we retest, we trade lower, we come back, we move overnight, where right at the top there, that was what was said no to on Thursday. And when we say no, we do not get any higher than this, is where we lost it before. We trade all the way through and now have set a new value. We are trading lower. So what you're looking at on each day are these orange dotted lines. That's where value was set here. After it, value was set here, right? And if you go back over time, we fall out of value too fast, too soon. Go back up, we can't get any higher. Now we start trading back down into and between these two. We follow through, we come back, and we test value high. reject all the way down. Now we're setting new value. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this over here is a buy-sell tool that Bruz underneath Thor's Market Alchemists Discord, you can get access to this. Now, if you want to add Camarilla pivots, you can add the Camarilla pivot plays by BruzX, and you can also add the the buying selling indicator by Bruz. Those are costs. So it adds my buy sell. I will be running this on a 1 minute or 2 minute time frame to see when buying has stopped, when selling has begun, and vice versa. On this, I tend to not really look at what the pivot strategies are, but I want to see the rolling. So I tend to go in here and under style, turn off the table. I just don't trade with it. I'm just looking at values. So there's your Camarilla pivots. Tomorrow we're basically saying we should be trading between the 4s. We're trading in here. Where do we go to test tomorrow? We could test up here. We could test up there. We're simply looking for continuation lower. One of the things you need to look at is where we end on any given profile. So this profile showed that we tested up to lower, held, and pushed back up. So it gave a slight bullish intent, but then we open up and we don't accept anything higher than that. So we trade down. Friday, we said no to an initial not getting back into range, but then we squeezed up and went back and checked prior value from Wednesday. And we said no when we sell back down. So this is simply every day. You can see where I'm going to zoom in on one of these, okay? I can see on any given day, this yellow is value according to volume. TPO is based on time. The other thing I do, so you'll know, is I create an ATR guideline for when I'm trading during the day. And if you go over to this bug, come down to price range, NQ has an ATR of about 488, somewhere there, call it 490-ish. That's fine. And then you can actually go through onto this little guy and set the text as ATR. And now you have a bug out here. You know where it's going to be ATR-ish. So when we opened yesterday down here, we try to go lower, we go up. If you're thinking you have a lot of extension below ATR, not a really good idea. We did push a little bit higher. It was to check value from Wednesday. Thursday was crush it, go back and check on Wednesday. That is as simple as it gets. It's what this is set up to, and I'm basically watching for acceptance or rejection, and you can see my ATR on ES, and ES is somewhere around 88 in a move. Yes, we can go more and we can go less in any given day, but you go back to like Wednesday was great. Thursday was a move overnight, and we're in ETH, so you need to go that to RTH, regular trading hours. And you'll actually see some very interesting things. We didn't think we would go here, but we squeezed these guys in the overnight, went up and just was checking value from up top. And you can start to see that that's when we came through. We lost that one. We checked back to here. That's a good sell. I took a really nice move on that one. Came out and just stopped out at an ATR when I took that one on Thursday. I had 88 points. I was busy doing something, but I got a full 88-point move on NQ. Now, I can look at ES and see if it's diverging from NQ. NQ, actually, the trade was on NQ. You can see it stall up there, 490 points back to value that was set on this day, which was a first target, and probably out the bottom was the next target or range somewhere down here. But you have to pay attention to ATR range at all times. That's how to trade value. Now, sounds easy, looks easy. It's going to take some time. If I go back and let's just move this guy over, okay? And I'm going to set this on a daily, okay? There are different plays when you're playing things. So we have a channel back test, channel back test. Now we're descending. So we have range bound here and an extension out, range bound here, and you trade these things differently. You have to have the skills to look at different things. That there is a range, and we had a range in here. Got to get it back again. There, that we tested out of. And now we're seeing if we accept this one back down in this area. This is range expansion, failure, back to the other side. This is a upward trend, range, upward trend, and you can see when we hit a range and we hold about the midpoint, that's a good way that you know you're going to have extension. So we get a little low and higher, and then higher yet, and now we go, we back test to that former range that we're going to hold there, and we held here. When we back test it, we go out, and then we get all out here. Now we're crushing it. So you have upward, the same, we're transitioning to a new range, transitioning to a new range. Now we found there's a mini range that's actually sitting up here. We lose it. We try to get back above it. We can't. We come back. You see, we tested a couple times to the top. We do not belong above this range right now. This is the bigger view, the bigger picture. Okay, and then you can look on any given day. Is it bullshit? Is it not bullshit? You know, what do we have? This was garbage up here. Just that's when Jay Powell spoke, and we've just been transitioning lower. I haven't seen us set a range yet, so we are still in transition mode. We are transitioning down right now. Okay, we're doing that. If we get too low too fast, we come back in. We could check back up here and trade down until we find a trading range. You will find that you can succeed in trading a range, or you can trade in a transition up or to another range and a transition down. Everybody has their own positives and negatives in each market type. If you have any more questions, you can ping me on the Discord and I can try and answer them. Thanks.